Sundaram, spokesperson of the DMK, joins us. Vanakkam, Manu, on a Sunday morning. Hope you've had a good breakfast. You've got your coffee, your filter coffee done. Give me a sense on this day. Is this going to be the day when the sun finally rises in the DMK and in Tamil Nadu? Sun, S-U-N and S-O-N both?
Well, we certainly hope so, Mr. Sardesai, and I think you would agree that we've seen one too many elections, myself included, that out of the 234 seats, I think we are now projecting leads in about 45 to 50. So we, I think, would advise patience, perhaps till another hour or so, notwithstanding the fact and the great faith you've placed in Tamil's counting and our mathematics. I think once we see the third and fourth rounds of counting, we will know exactly which way the breeze is flowing. But so it is quite certain that the sun will rise today, or the suns, the S-U-N and the S-O-N will together rise today.
No, son and the grandson. Son and the grandson, both Stalin and Udaynidhi. And that's one of the fears, that at the end of the day, what is rising is one family and not the party anymore.
Well, I don't think that fear is quite well established, because ultimately they've both had very tough elections to face, and it is up to the people to choose which son or which daughter or which nephew they choose to repose their faith in. Of course, the larger S-U-N sun has already risen, and with that, we are happy that the day has gotten off to a good start. We have 173 DMK candidates in fray today. We hope every one of them will come through. This is not just a referendum on the last 5 years of AIADMK, but in a sense, it is also a referendum of the last 2 years of the BJP, notwithstanding what we've seen in the last 12 months of complete and utter COVID mismanagement. I know it is a very difficult time for those of you who are in Delhi and Noida. So regardless of which party comes to power in the 5 states, I cannot reiterate this enough. It's a very difficult time for all of us.
Well, and as I said, that is clearly the narrative that every political party should be sort of focusing upon. Whether you win or lose today, your challenge remains, come tomorrow, how are you going to counter the COVID pandemic? That's a challenge for the DMK if it wins, for the LDF in Kerala, and whoever wins in Bengal, or indeed Assam and Puducherry.
Kamal Hassan is leading in Coimbatore South. This was the one seat where the BJP thought they had a chance. This is also a seat where Kamal Hassan's party had done well in the Lok Sabha elections. He himself is winning, but it would be for a hugely popular Tamil superstar a bit of a disappointment to see how they end up in this election. So he's not really proved to be an MGR. It's
an interesting, Kamal Hassan is an interesting factor. His party, the MNM Makkal Nidhi Mayam, won about 4% of the vote, almost 4% in the Lok Sabha. Not bad, more than what most parties in their debut tend to win in a tightly two alliance state like Tamil Nadu. But Coimbatore, an urban area, was where they actually had double-digit votes in Lok Sabha. So he chose a constituency where they had shown some promise in 2019 and has gone there.
But that's also where the BJP was hoping to do well.
That's right. No, there's a BJP candidate there and there's a Congress candidate there. So it's a national election within the Tamil Nadu context. And I think Kamal Hassan has attracted a lot of urban middle-class voters who are disenchanted with these two Dravida parties, small in number. And I think you'll find that there are other smaller parties. The NTK, which we spoke about the other day, is also making gains, much more radical in its sort of Tamil identity. Smaller parties are trying to exploit the vacuum left by Jayalalitha and Karunanidhi's exit. For now, the DMK appears to be filling that vacuum, Rahul, but we don't know what tomorrow brings. So therefore, Kamal Hassan will have to show whether he's a lamba race ka ghoda. So he's not an instant super hit.
The BJP's calculation is that Tamil Nadu is emerging from the era of Dravidian politics into a post-Dravidian era. If that is true, then the BJP thinks going forward over a 5, 10, 15-year horizon, they have a chance in Tamil Nadu. If that is not true, in a state where national and regional politics has been strong, language politics has been strong, then it's a tough ask. But they're hoping by fighting along with the AIADMK, they make the people of Tamil Nadu less averse to the idea of voting for the BJP. In this election, it doesn't seem to be working out for the moment, but this is also a calculation with a longer-term roadmap in mind. Let's go across to the election intelligence dashboard as we show you some of